So I'll just share the PPT. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening to each and every one of you. I hope my voice is audible and the PPT is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Because that's one on the online thing. I just want to make sure that there's a basic thing we have to do it. Just like for investment, also we have certain basic criteria for online classes. The voice should be audible and the PPT should be visible. Okay. Myself, CH Chinmay Hegde. I've cleared. I do only two things. I do trading and I do training. Means I teach CA students, CFA students, and I do stock trading. I begin with the words of Warren Buffett. I'm sure you would be heard of his name. If not, please go on Google search. You'll find loads of content on the internet. He said, I started investing at the age of 11 and I regret I started too late. So what is our age? How much you have invested is the question that we have to ask ourselves. Okay, so let us go ahead with the topic, wealth creation in stock markets. Before we go further, or I touch upon any topic in our today's session, I just want to know whether you're able to identify the companies which produces these products, which I'm sure you'll be using these products on a daily basis. Maggi, Parachute Oil, Fevikwik, Surf Excel. I'm sure each and one of you might be using it. It's a very common product that is used in almost every household. So you can use the chat function. I think so. I'm not sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, will the people be able to? Okay.
Yes.
Maggi, any idea which company which produces Maggi? And you can use any of these: Maggi, Parachutes, Surf Excel, Fevikwik. Yes. So I think the Maggi seems to be the favorite of the lot. Yes, it is Nestle. And then Parachute is from Marico. Surf Excel is from HUL, Hindustan Unilever, and Fevikwik is from Pidilite. Yes. Let me tell you, had you just invested in these 4 stocks about 10 years back, 20 years back, does not require anything to do research. These are the products you'll be using in your day-to-day life, right? You know the value of it. You know how long you have been using it, and you know how long you are going to use it. That's it. There is no other research required. This is how you can pick the stocks easily, and we can give hundreds of examples. Reliance Jio, I think nobody can live without oxygen, and nobody can live without Jio, I think now. And petrol, we have Indian Oil, Hindustan. We have banks, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, and so on. We can give hundreds of examples. So selection of stocks is not a rocket science. But what is required? Certain investment disciplines. That is what we are going to cover in today's session. I hope it will be useful to you. Stock market is designed to transfer money from the active to the patient. Patient means the person who have so much of patience. So the point to be underlined here is time. The best investment you can make in yourself, the more you learn, the more you earn. As the sentence itself speaks, try to spend as much of time as possible in educating yourself in whichever the field, be it investment or anywhere else. Okay, I'll just start with one small story. Many of you might be heard of. Still, I would like to cover this point because it's very important as a basics of stock market. It is such a beautiful place, stock market, where every time you buy, somebody else will be selling, and every time you sell, and somebody else will be buying. Without buyer and seller, a trade cannot happen. And every time person buys or person sells, he thinks he is smart. So just like to give this monkey story, especially what is happening now. If you follow the market, IRCTC is a beautiful example. I'm not going to spend the time on IRCTC. You can learn yourself, but I would like to give you the basics of it, how the price mechanism works. Understand the story. You have lot to learn and lot to apply. Once a man came to a village and told, I want monkey. I am ready to pay 500 rupees for every monkey. People have thought something wrong, something happened to this fellow. He must be mad. Why are he charging 5 rupees per monkey? People laughed at him. Some people wanted to see whether he will give or not. So what they did, okay, they went to near places. Monkeys were there, of course. In India, we'll find a lot of monkeys and monkey farms. So they pick something and give it to him. And he promptly gave them 100 rupees, 500 rupees. So people are surprised and happy also. So some people wanted to make some more money. They bought some more monkeys, gave it to him, and he gave 500 rupees. Okay. After a few days, he said, I would like to have some more monkeys and I will give you 1,000 rupees for that. Now people wanted more money. They started searching elsewhere. They went to nearby villages, got the monkeys, gave it to him, 1,000 rupees. Everybody happy. He said, I need some more monkeys. I am ready to give 5,000 rupees. Now this time, everybody put lot of efforts. Some people went to villages, some people went to forest, got the monkeys, given it to him, made good amount, 5,000. He said, I am ready to pay some more monkeys. I need some more monkeys. This time I will give you 10,000 rupees, or I'll give you not 10,000. I will give you 50,000 rupees for every monkey. Now I will give you 50,000 rupees. But villagers were exhausted. Nearby villages are over and the forest is over. They tried searching, one or two they could find here and there. He said, don't worry, I will give you time. I will go back to my place. I'll come back in 1 month. You give me the monkeys, by then it is sufficient. Okay, he went. And after a couple of days, his assistant came and he gave you one beautiful idea to all these people. What these people, what the assistant told you, I will give you monkeys. I will give you monkeys. You sell it to him and give me some commission. Actually, villagers did not know that they were his assistant. Somebody came and he told, but my monkey will cost you 15,000 rupees. Okay, let's say 20,000 rupees. 20,000 rupees for every monkey. What villagers thought? Oh, 20,000 rupees, no problem. Why? 50,000 we can sell it. No, we are buying at 20, selling at 50, 30,000 is our easy profit. No efforts also required. He is giving and we are giving. We are just sitting and doing. We are not even putting efforts. Everybody purchased the monkeys at 20,000. 1 month over, 2 months over, 3 months over. The person did not come back. And the assistant also did not come back. And now, what is the situation of the villagers now? The monkeys which you have sold at 500, which you have sold at 1,000, which you have sold at 50,000, 5,000, now you have purchased it at 20,000. So you thinking that you making profits, he made a fool out of you. 50,000 was nowhere there. 20,000 you paid. In fact, he purchased at 500, he purchased at 1,000, he purchased at 5,000, he sold it to you for 20,000. That is the story of stock market, and that is the story of IRCTC. And ultimately, the villagers, what they have now? The monkey on their back. That is what IRCTC. Now people are not able to sell. They are blocked. Anyway, so I hope you understood the moral of the story here. If you are buying a stock by yourself, make sure it has some value in it. Don't buy just because somebody else buying it. Oh, he's buying it, I will also buy. Then what will happen if you do that? Ultimately, the monkeys will be on your back. You will not be able to get it off so easily. Right? So if you're purchasing the stock, any stock for that matter, make sure it has value. You may not be a financial professional, that's absolutely fine. But when you pick a stock, make sure that the product they produce is worth it. Somebody will tell you, so buy some shares, some company, Yes Bank shares is coming down, so you buy it. No, somebody buying it, you don't buy it. You think, is the history good? What do the product they make? I told you some simple examples. Nestle, Fevikwik, there is not even any competition. A beautiful company for you to invest. Anyway, so I hope you got the fundamental logic and how stock market people get lost or people lose money is simply because of they follow news. They follow somebody else. Why IRCTC not seen in portfolio? I'm not sure whose portfolio it is, but IRCT is such a stock. It does not really have that so much of essence in it. In the sense, the price has run too much. Anyway, I don't want to talk about too many valuations. IRCTC, the weight has gone up and the weight is coming down. It's a very good lesson for you. Don't invest chasing the profits. Anyway, what are the techniques we can apply? Mainly what is required. As we go further, I would like to cover that. Okay, so normally in stock market, you have two styles of investment. You have traders and you have investors. Traders is a full-time job. It is short-term, intraday trading, swing trading, positional trading, derivatives trading, whatever it is. But today, I am not talking about the derivatives part. I mean, I'm not talking about the trader's position. I'm only talking about today on investment perspective and long-term perspective, and that is to be done by each and everyone to secure your future. Okay. So our objectives today is to cover these topics. What is investments? What is the power of compounding? And what happened in the history? Historical events and returns, because without history, nobody can even try to understand about the future. And what are the thumb rules, simple thumb rules for investments? Stock split happened. I said, yes, many things have happened. IRCT is a beautiful case study by itself, and we can talk about hours after hours only on IRCTC. So I don't want to stick myself to one particular stock. Let's talk in a holistic way, slightly larger way. Okay. Some of you might be aware of it, about these points, but still I would like to make sure that we go in a systematic and structural manner. So what is investment? Or why should we do investment for that matter? For one simple reason, to maintain standard of living. Today, you are consuming something, be it food, shelter, rent, clothing, entertainment, whatever it is. You are having a certain standard of living now. As we go further, you would like to increase that standard of living, or at least you have to maintain that standard of living. So what is investment? Basically, tomorrow's expenditure is today's investment. I'll repeat once more. If you want, write it down. Tomorrow expenditure is today's investment. The purpose of investment today is to spend in future. Spend in the sense it might be consumer expenditure, small, or maybe a capital expenditure like house, leisure trips, whatever it is. The expenditure is the primary purpose of investment. And the important point is, if you want to, let's say, buy a house after 5 years, in today's cost is 50 lakhs. After 5 years, it will be 50 lakhs, is it? Today you're spending on petrol 100 rupees. I don't know. Tomorrow it might be even more, 110 rupees. After 20 years, how much you'll be spending? You understand my point, right? The prices keep increasing, and that is called as inflation. So to take care of my future expenditure, especially inflation, I need investment. Imagine if inflation is not there, then prices are not increasing, petrol prices are not increasing, cinema tickets price are not increasing, the rice, dal price is not increasing, then your cash is sufficient, investment not required. I mean, I'm talking about the basic purpose. So you have increase in expenditure, so your investment also should grow so that the increase in expenditure can match the increase in return. Typically, technically, that is called as nominal return versus real return. And that is the absolute reason why, if you're talking about investment, do not choose fixed deposits. Straight away, I can tell you. Of course, for your mental safety purpose, you can have some portion. But as far as portfolio management academics is concerned, you can talk to any professionals. Fixed deposit is the we'll say least recommended product as far as investment professionals are concerned, because it will not compensate inflation. In India, inflation rate is, let's say, 10%, FD rate is 6%, 5%. You're actually losing your money. You're understanding? Your money value is actually coming down. That's the formula. Nominal return minus inflation is real return. So inflation is one factor many people don't understand when they make investment decisions. Do keep that in mind. When you invest, how much return to generate? It should at least take care of my expenses. So at least it should take care of my inflation. That's why we usually say FD is a inferior product in investment consultancy. Of course, some people traditionally mindset is still there. So we go for fixed deposit. So typically keep this formula in mind. Return on investment. When you make an investment, how much return I get? Simple formula. How much profit I get divided by my cost of investment. This formula is not required for FD. FD, they will tell you 6% straightforward. But when you come to stock market, equity shares, mutual funds, they will not give you percentage. I'm sure you would have heard of these statements. Mutual funds are subject to market risk. Please understand the terms, read the terms carefully before investing. Nobody will guarantee you the returns. So you have to calculate what could happen. Nobody knows the future, at least looking at the past. So how much profit we are likely to get and how much investment we are making, that is return on investment. We have different investment products. Bank deposits is lower risk, lower returns. Usually we don't recommend that. And as you go higher, we have equity. I don't talk about others. Equity shares and mutual funds. I limit myself for these two topics. These two topics are definitely high risk, but you need to have higher returns. Let me tell you, where risk is not there. People say, equity market, no, risky. No, it's not like that. There's nothing guarantee in this world, right? Suddenly, you can die tomorrow itself. Next 5 minutes, you can die. Does it mean that I should not work at all? I can die anytime. So I'll start enjoying now itself, everything. I'll take money and enjoy. Future is uncertain. You are driving a vehicle. Is there guarantee that accident will not happen? You have to be careful. Exactly. There is nothing is uncertain except death. Nothing is certain in this world. Everything is uncertain. So don't avoid equity, but don't shoot in the dark. If you follow blindly, you're going to lose. That is no way. There's also one more statement in stock market. There is a statistics which says that 95% of the people lose money in stock market. In fact, 99% of the traders lose money in stock market. it's a saying that stock market starts with two kinds of people. One set of people have money, other set of people have experience. At the end of the day, they will exchange themselves. People have money will have experience, they would have lost money, and people have money, experience, and people have experience who have gone through things earlier, they will end up with money. So important point. So far what we discussed, you need investment to take care of your inflation for future, and for that you have to choose equity as a compensation. If I turn the tables round, why equity can be used as your advantage? So far I told you inflation is a disadvantage factor. Yes, nobody likes inflation, but it is practical aspect we cannot avoid. I mean, nobody like to put so much of hard work, or nobody like to suffer, but you want results. So inflation also like that. Anyway, so inflation means increase in prices, petrol price increasing, your food price increasing, your clothes price increasing, entertainment, popcorn, every price increasing. So price increase is a problem. How can you be the beneficiary of it? Okay, now you tell me this. Nestle, Maggie you purchased. For you, it is a cost. You are paying more. It is a cost for you. For whom? It is an income. For Nestle company. If you become the owner of Nestle company, is it possible? Yes. You buy the shares of Nestle company. Are you understanding the points? You purchase Maggie. Yes, you should do it. You go and become the owner of Maggie, the inflation can act in favor to you. People pay more, you are the owner, you get more income. So you can turn the tables, you can be a beneficiary of inflation. Simplest way of beating the inflation. I give an example. Don't go and invest in Nestle every amount. Diversification is important, portfolio management is important. But do this kind of small research. Does not take much time. Whichever product you are consuming, and see which are those companies. How to analyze, is the company quality good? I'll come to it little later. Okay, but I hope you understood the importance of equity investments. I'm not telling you you should invest in equity because now everybody is investing. No, it has to be a consistent approach. I will tell you how the consistent approach will happen. Now, investment can happen. Two styles of investments are there, popular throughout the world: active investing, and we have passive investing. Active investing means you yourself buy and sell shares, or you can do it through mutual funds. Or if you want to do passive investing, we have index mutual funds or ETF, exchange traded funds, like Nifty Bees, UTI index, ETF, and so on. Anyway, about these topics, what is a index? What is Nifty Sensex? I'll come to it a little bit later, but I'll do connect. What is the meaning of passive investing little later. But if you don't have time, simply go for passive investing. If you have time, you go for active investing. If you want to make this as a career, then you should go for trading. But that is only if you want to do full-time trading. Sir, I want to do part-time trading. My job is from 9 to 5. In between lunch break, I'll get 1 hour. Half an hour, I'll have lunch break. Half an hour, can I do stock market? No. Stock market, if it is professional, stock market will treat you like a professional. If you treat the stock market like a hobby, the stock market will treat you like a hobby. Means what? For the hobbies, you don't get the return. You have to pay for it. If you treat stock market like a hobby, you have to pay for it. For hobbies don't return. You have to pay for hobbies. Anyway, becoming an equity, or if you purchase the shares, means you are actually becoming the shareholder of a company. You're becoming a fractional owner. There are, like Nestle example I gave you, Reliance example. There are lakhs of people. You're one of them. Mukesh Ambani is also the owner. You also the owner. Questions, I'm getting something. I'll try to take it up towards the end so that I can tell it at one shot, so that the flow will not be there. But if you can put the question, I can answer it later. If I miss it, you can put once more. Okay. So when you buy a shares, you become a shareholder. What is the point of it? You are starting a company. If you have to start a company, what and all you look at it. For example, you want to start a hotel. You look at a hotel, how many employees are required, suppliers are required, where do we get the vegetables, do the customers come there, nearby are there any schools and colleges, nearby are there any other hotels, should I do North Indian, South Indian, or even in South Indian it's Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, or in Karnataka you have so many varieties, or should I do international cuisine? How many seating arrangements should be there? What should we have, AC, non-AC? Should be standing, sitting? Should be a delivery? How many things you have to look at it if you want to start a business? If you are investing in equity directly, it's as if you are becoming owner. So owner has the responsibility to take care of the entire business. You may not take a decision, but it's your responsibility to understand about the business. That's why I started today telling you are using Fevikwik, becoming owner of Fevikwik, because you know the product is amazing. It does not have substitute, monopoly, one of the simple point for you to select stocks. Anyway, more about it, I'll go together. Okay. Whereas what is mutual funds? Mutual funds means you're not investing directly, you're not doing the business directly, you're giving the money to some professional. That's what happens, right? For example, doctor, you cannot take care of your body, so you tell the doctor, please treat me, I'll give you money for whatever is your treatment cost. Your treatment means your consultancy cost, your treatment for me. Similarly, you cannot invest in the stocks directly, you don't understand the finance, you don't have the time or even the appetite to look at the company's owners, company's products, how they're performing in every quarter, to analyze, are they doing better than their competitors, are they exporting, are they importing, how the crude oil is having the impact. You don't have the time or appetite to understand, analyze and interpret. You appoint a professional. Appointing yourself a professional, that becomes individual consultancy. Or you want to have a high net worth consultancy, that's called as PMS, a portfolio management service. But if you want 1 lakh people, 10,000 people to come together, give the money to one person and let him do the business on behalf of you. Sorry, let him invest the market on behalf of you. That's called as mutual funds. So mutual funds means giving your money to somebody else. So what is the single most point you have to consider in if you're investing in mutual fund? Who is the fund manager? You can get the data. So when they say you should go through the scheme documents, what you go through mainly should go through the about fund manager. Where was he? What is professional? How he performed earlier? Is he trustworthy? Has he changed the job frequently? So for the mutual funds, do look for fund manager. And he will cut the money also on behalf of you. So if you give 100 rupees to the mutual fund will not invest entire 100 rupees. They'll invest only 99 rupees. One rupee, they will keep it in their pocket. You call entry load, exit load, or fund management fees, expense ratio, whatever it is. But that's a cost you have to bear because he's a professional. Professionals don't come free of cost. That is where a passive management is less costly, less cost of management as come to active management. I'll come to it a little bit later in detail. Okay, so the second most important point I would like to talk about is power of compounding. In the words of Albert Einstein, compound interest is eighth wonder of the world. Even if you don't understand seven, no problem. Eighth wonder is compound interest. The one who understands earns, he who doesn't pay for it. Such a beautiful sentence, such an impactful sentence. Okay, about Sensex, I'll come to it later. I will go to the actual investment directly. Okay. This is one simple, 1 second, I'll just start once more. Okay, fine. Back. If you started with rupees 10,000, okay, 1 year till 30 years. I just want to make you understand how a small percentage can make the difference. Got the point? I've started with 10,000 rupees. What is my interest rate? One alternative 10%, other alternative 12%. You understand 10%, 12%? I get 100 rupees. On that 100, I get 10 rupees. So 110. On 110, I get 10%. So 11 rupees. On 110, 10%, 11 rupees. So 110 plus 11, 121. That's compounding effect. But I wanted to make you understand the power of compounding. For that, I'm showing you this. Okay. 1 year over, 2 year over, you see, there is not much of gap, right? If you, I don't know whether I can zoom it and you can see it. There are two lines, one white and one red approximately. No difference, because when the period is less, 10%, 12%, not much of difference. Very small difference only will be there. But as the time progress, you see there is small deviation emerging. The above one is 12%, the below is 10%. So if you invest for 10 years also, almost the same. Amount is below 50,000. You invest 10,000, okay, in both the cases. Now, let's say after 15 years, 15 years, how much you invested? 10,000 rupees. What rate? 10%. 10,000 rupees, a 10% for 15 years, the 10,000 has become 37,000, almost round off for 90,000. Money, 10,000 became 40,000. It became 4 times. In how many years? 15 years. And if it is 12%, it is 54,000. 5 times. 10%, 4 times. 12%, just the 2% returns, but 4 times where? 5 times where? Okay. Now, let us continue further. 30 years is our journey. Out of 30 years, 10,000 became 37,000. Almost it became 4 times. In 15 years, can you tell me in next 15 years, what will happen to this 37,000? So too much of mathematics. Simple. 15 years over, 4 times. Another 15 years, another 4 times. So any idea what number it will approximately become? 10,000 became 40,000 approximately. 4 times. 15 years. Another 15 years, another 4 times. So 4 times 40,000. Simple mathematics. It is 4 times, another 4 times. So it is 1,60,000 approximately. Let's see what happens. Yes, you can see it is 1,60,000, right? It is 1,60,000. Sir, what you're telling? You are investing 10,000 and it became 1,60,000. Yes, that is the power of compounding. That is why you should invest for long-term period. What is people say power of compounding? Power of compounding, nothing. Longer the time you stay in the market, it compounds interest on interest. It develops, it grows. And look at the difference. Here you got 1,58,000. That is almost 15 times, 16 times. But 10,000 became 26, 2,60,000, 26 times. What you're telling? 10,000 becoming 2,67,000, 26 times, yes, for just 12% per annum. You see, when it is just 5 years, not much of difference. But with 30 years, there is a vast difference. The key of successful men in life is consistency. It's not about scoring one beautiful double 100 in 120-20 match and rest of the match you don't play anything. That's not called as great player. A great player is one who performs consistently. So if you want to invest, make money in stock market or anything for that matter, consistency should be the key. And that is why I'm telling, oh, this stock gave 50% return, everybody go and invest. Oh, last week this stock increased, everybody go and invest. Don't do that. Look at who is consistent compounders. And many examples can be given. This is what people say. Time in the market is more important than timing the market. Time in the market is more important than timing the market. In fact, Warren Buffett is considered as the highest epitome for stock market. We take them as idol, and Rakesh Jhunjhunwala in Indian case. His 90% of the wealth, for maybe more, for Warren Buffett, he generated after he crossed 50 years, 60, 55 years, 50 years, I think. 90% of his wealth became after he crossed 50 years, which means he is there in the market for such a long time, and then it converted. So what is the important point? Start early, invest. Okay, fine. Let's continue further. How to select about those companies? There is no universal method. Whatever my method is there, I will share it with you. But I would like to spend a little bit more time on the power of compounding, because I'm sure many of you are watching this is young, doing any course, earning 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 per month, whatever it is. The importance of saving, and more importantly, the importance of investing, is what I would like to show you by one more example. This person, Mr. X, starts working at the age of 25, works for 30 years. For simplicity's sake, I have taken, he worked for 30 years. He invests 10,000 per month. Now, can any of you tell me how much you would have invested now over a period of 30 years? How much you invested? 10,000 per month for 30 years. 1 year, 12 months. 30 year means you are investing 360 times. 360 investments you're making. 360 into 10,000. Simple maths. Every year 1,20,000. 10,000 into 12 into 25. You're investing 36 lakhs. I'm taking a mere 1% per month return. Now, after the age of 30 years, I mean, not after retirement, after working life of 30 years, for investing 36 lakhs, you would have got 3.5 crores. Just 1% return per month, I assume 12%. Nifty, Sensex, ETF, mutual funds, closing your eyes, you can get this return. 12%, definitely you'll get it. Of course, I'm taking over a longer period of time. I will show with the data. I'm not telling everything out of my imagination. I'll show with the proof, data. Without the data, we should not make decisions. Let's take his friend who wanted to enjoy his life. Of course, you have to enjoy. He also started on the same day. He also worked for 30 years, but he did not invest it initially. 30 years, out of that, 15 years over. 15 years over. Now you look at, oh, he's investing. I also would like to invest. But 15 years over. Now what do you tell? What is the alternative you think? I mean, what can I do now? I want to match his investments. He is investing 10,000 per month. Half of the age is over. Half of the working life is over. But I also want to invest the same amount. So what should I do? I should double my investment, right? He is investing 10,000. But half life over. I have to match his investment means I have to invest double. I have to invest 20,000 per month. I'm sure many people will do from the age of 40 started. Now, can you tell me what is his investment over a period of 15 years? Next 15 years, 20,000 per month for a period of 15 years. 20,000 into 15 and per month into 12. 20,000 into 15 into 12. Same 36 lakh, isn't it? Same 36 lakh. Investment is same. Now you see the beauty of it. Any idea how much he would have earned at the same point of retirement as another person? He also invested 36 lakhs. Okay, I will give the answer. He got 1 crore. 99 lakh something, not half, 99 lakhs. Look at the beauty of it. He invested 36 lakh. He also invested 36 lakhs. Both are absolutely same, identical investments, identical starting of the career, identical investment amount, identical working life, identical retirement. One person got 3.5 crores, other person got 1 crore. Assumptions are same. What is the difference then? The difference is he started at the age of 25, he started at the age of 40. Warren Buffett started 11 or even 6 years, I think. I don't remember the exact name. Power of compounding. There lies the power of compounding. I can give many more examples. I just want to give one example. Okay. This I have assumed 1% return. Okay, this I've assumed 1% return. If I double it, you're getting my point, my dear friend. If I double it from 1% to 2%, how much do you think it will happen? Are you getting my point? These calculations are assuming 1% per month. Now, can I make it 2% per month? If I make it 2% per month, if I double the percentage, what should happen to this 3.5 crores? Any idea how much? You can use the chat function. I just doubled. One second. Okay. Some people are telling 7 crores or 10 crores, but mathematically you tell me 1%, 2%, I doubled. So 3.5 crores should become 7 crore, isn't it? Mathematically, 1%, 2% double, 3.5 crores becomes 7 crores. The answer is no. You know how much he gets? 62 crores. 62 crores. I repeat, if I make 1% to 2%, what I was getting 3.5 crores after the age of 30 years, it will become 62 crores. Again, power of compounding. Again, the point is, I don't know if you understand, 1% per month is practical, reasonable. By investing in Nifty Sensex, I will tell you how you can make this return easily. But from 1% to 2%, it's a Herculean task. It's a Herculean task. It's not easy to make 2% per month. Sir, you're telling 2%? Is that difficult? If you make 2% per month, if you're capable of making 2% per month, the mutual funds will worship you. Take my word, mutual funds will worship you. Even this we call average rate as CAGR, compound annual growth rate. Warren Buffett's around 20%, 21%. The great stocks like Infosys, TCS is around 25%. That's 2% per month. It's not easy to make 2% per month. It is definitely not easy to make 2% per month, sir. Why are you stressing it so much? Because this is the age of social media, WhatsApp universities, Facebook degrees. We will have Instagram PhDs. Everybody is an expert, and they'll put a screenshot telling how I made 5 lakh in 5 minutes. Please join this course for 70,000 rupees we charge, and you can make 5% per month, or they will have advertisement. Absolute nonsense. 1% is reasonable. 2% is exceptional. 3% is lie. If somebody tells 3%, I make consistently, they are making fool out of you. I mean, I'm not denying the fact there are 1 out of 1 crore people like Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. They made a good CAGR for sure. Of course, by following different techniques, strategies, by spending hell a lot of time. You see, FII, foreign institutional investors, these mutual funds, so many thousands of crores are with them. Are they able to make this 2-3% per month? Not possible. with so much of money, so much of resources, the government is in their hands. Still making so much percentage, 3%, 4% is impossible. Actually, the people who make the biggest money are not even banks. Bank will give you loan at how much? 12%, 13%. Housing loan at 8%, 7%. A business loan maximum 15%, 16% OD, overdraft interest rate. And how much these credit card people will charge you, you know, they charge you 3% per month or 3.5% per month. If you compound per annum, that's almost like 40% per annum. They are the ones who make a hell lot of money from those who borrow. Credit card is the most profitable business. Why do you think credit card people will give you so much of services? It's free only. If you pay on time, you don't have to pay anything. Hardly joining fees are not much. I don't have much time. Otherwise, I could have gone to some credit card companies' annual reports and look at the revenue breakup. How much revenue from interest, how much revenue from joining fees or renewal fees, some other late penalty charges. You should look at the breakup. That's how you analyze companies' financial statements. Okay. The point I'm trying to make here is this. Very simple. You have to invest a lot of time. You have to give time. Whether you learn or not is secondary. You have to be in the market for a longer period of time. You'll automatically get improved because of compound or the concept power of compounding. And second point, please don't fall. Don't lose your hard-earned money by looking at these advertisements in social media. There are so many ways people will fool people. If they have invested, they could have invested. No, I mean, anyway, I don't want to go about it. But if they tell you I can make you 2-3% per month, please don't believe such statements. If you're doing it yourself in the stock market, your reasonable expectation should be 1% per month, 12% per annum, let's say 13-14% per annum. That is our GDP growth also. I'm going to show you the data, Nifty, Sensex, how they performed from the year in which they have started. They have given you only this much return, only 13-14% per annum. And that is our GDP growth as well in the long-term horizon period. Macro data, stock market may not go hand in hand on a daily basis. In the long term, definitely they are matching. Anyway, I'll do talk about more going forward. So this is what I want to talk about, the power of compounding. Okay, let's talk about the data now. You told so much of stories. You told so much of power of compounding. Has it happened earlier? Let's take a look at it. First of all, in stock market, so many stocks are there. Reliance, Infosys, HUL, Indian Energy Exchange, Tata Power, no end. But so many companies are there. We want a representative. I want to know what happens if I invest in stock market. That is what is called as market index. See, there are, let's say in a class, average marks is 50 marks in a class. One person would have 52, other person would have scored 55, somebody 30, somebody 40, average 50. Similarly, somebody scored in some other class 95, 92, 75, 70, 90, 95. We take an average. Correct? And we say, oh, average marks in the second class is higher than average marks in the first class. So I want to join the second class. I want to join this institution. Their average marks is high. This is one of the points I would like to make your points very, very clear. Not only in market, everywhere, especially some institutions, or if you're joining, you would have seen IIT and all, somebody scores rank. Don't go by one exceptional, two exceptional situations. Look at their average marks. If you're hiring a candidate, don't look at his exceptional performances, look at his average performance. So any decisions you have to make, see, you're traveling from home to office. One day it will take 45 minutes. One day it will take, let's say, 25 minutes because no traffic. 25 minutes you reached. Most of the days you take 35 minutes. Now, If you're making a decision, will you keep 25 minutes? That happened once in a while. But every day, what happens? 30 to 35 minutes. Your decision should be based on that. Your decision should be based on always average. And in stock market, we have so many stocks. How do you calculate that average? That is called as benchmark index, that is indices. In India, we have two major indices. One is Sensex, other is Nifty. If somebody tells you Nifty is happening something, Sensex happening something, don't worry too much. They are telling about average returns. Sensex represents India's top 30 company average return. Nifty talks about India's top 50 companies average returns. That's all. Huh? That's all. You wanted to understand in stock market, some stocks going up, some stocks coming down. Tell me what is happening overall on an average. That is Sensex. So as Sensex or Nifty is a representative. It's called as broad market indices. Let's talk about Sensex. It has the longer history than Nifty. So I'll use Sensex data. It started in the year 1979. Anybody knows latest what is the value? Approximately Sensex values. We have just finished October month. It is around 60,000. Of course, it has fallen last few days, but approximately let's take 60,000. In the year 1979, I'm sure most of you may not be born. You know what value Sensex started? It started with rupees 100. It means if you invested rupees 100 in Sensex, if you invested rupees 100 in Sensex in the year 1979, its value is 60,000. So 100 became 60,000. How much? 100, if I take this 100 to 600 means 6 times. So if I take it this 600 times, and if you invested 1 lakh, what would have happened? You add zeros. So many zeros are there. It would have become crores of rupees. Not because it is great, for simple reason, power of compounding. Let us look at the Sensex. I told you Sensex is a representative of large companies, majority of the companies. There are many indices. Let's not go about it. Let's take a look at this. This from 2017 to 2021. Numbers you don't worry, but look at the movement. Stock market. It is going up, it comes down. It is going up, it comes down. It going up, crash, corona crash, and it started going up, then come down, start going up. Now it is coming down. The reason why I want showing you this chart is because the stock market does not move in a linear pattern. It does not go up like this, does not come down like this. It's always the variation. Be aware, accept it. It is like your heartbeat. Heartbeat keeps going up, coming down. This also going up, coming down. But on an average, look at the higher points. That's how you analyze. This is the higher point. This is the higher point. It is higher point, even more higher point, even more higher point, even more higher point. When the stock market is making higher highs, that means it is in upward trend. And whenever market corrects, that's a good opportunity to invest. Anyway, one more point I would like to make a thing. I saw this in one of the media. I saw a very good example. Some people invest when the market corrects. Okay. Now, one of the person told like this: when Sensex reached 50,000, he sold everything. Why he sold everything? People ask you why you sold. Hey, stock market too much overvalued, too much. So I sold everything. When will you buy it? When the market corrects by 20%, I will buy it. Okay. Now it increased. Let's say it became 59,000 and it down by 20%. Now 59,000, 20%, approximately around 10,000, let's say 8, 9,000, 10,000 approximately. Means it is back to 50,000. You sold at 50,000. Market kept on going up. It corrected 20%, and now you purchased. So you purchased at the same price what you sold earlier. That is why I tell you, if you're not an expert, don't time the markets. You keep investing in a systematic basis. We call that as SIP. I will come to it a little bit later. It's also called as a rupee cost averaging it. And one more point is, a stock market goes in a cycles, or everyday stock market. Please don't watch news. If you want to make a career out of it, watch it. If you are just an investor, stay away from day-to-day market news. In the short term, stock market or stocks moves because of news, market sentiments, international global cues, political developments, some news, some small thing, or FII purchased, FII sold, mutual funds invested, mutual funds sold. It will move in a short-term thing. But in long term, stocks move for single reason, that is profit. Which company makes most profit, that company's stock will grow in the long run, make no doubt about it. But don't make short-term investment, don't make long-term investments based on short-term news. Somebody sitting in the news channel will this stock should be invested. I'm not telling he's wrong. He might be telling for 1 day, he might be telling for 2 days, he might be telling for 5 days. And you investing for whole life? Don't do it. If you're investing for short period, look at short-term period news, short-term period performance position. If your target is long-term, look at their history in long-term. Of course, there are some new age companies, for example, Zomato, who don't have much of history. Sir, can I invest in those companies for long-term? My personal suggestion, no. If you are not confident about the futures in the long term, you don't invest for long term. Best solution for long term investment is Sensex, Nifty. But can I invest in Sensex? Can I invest in Nifty? Because they are index, right? Their average performance. How can I invest in average performance? Answer is there. Wait for some more time in the session. I'll come to it towards little bit later. Okay, this is one more thing I would like to tell you. This stock market moves in a business cycle. So one more thing you have to understand, stock market moves in 3 kinds of business cycle: bullish phase, bearish phase, consolidation, constant. We also call it as a bunny market. So we see that market is going up, bullish, then coming down, bearish. Then it is in consolidation stage, a bunny market. Again, it is bullish, market down, bearish. Now again, we are in bull market. So when will bull market end? Nobody knows. When it starts falling down, you exit. Very simple. Corrects 20%, 15%. If you want to exactly exit. Anyway. So be aware of the market cycles, or if you're an investor, don't exit. Just keep doing SIP. I'll tell you later how making SIP will make a lot of difference in your investment part. And market index is a representative of market movements. Whatever happens in the market, whatever happens in the economy will be reflected in the market. You see, in this year, 1990, Harshad Mehta scam happened. Market has fallen. In the year 2009, 2010, Harshad Mehta Satyam scam happened. 2008-9, this Enron Brothers collapse. That is global depression. Global depression 2008. Market fell down. But had you been consistently investing, don't worry about market falling down. It will come back. But if you are having some surplus, you want to make money out of it, then look for these opportunities. Otherwise, I will not recommend it. Same thing. It went up, it come down, and market. I mean, during Corona stage, market crashed, and people sold everything. That was a good time to invest. Yeah, I'll tell one more point. Easy to tell, but difficult to implement. Market is driven by 2 things: greed and fear. Greed. I want more. I want more. I want more. That's where the market will top out, will start coming down. When too many people starts investing, even auto drivers talking about mutual funds, and the IPL matches will have advertisements on cryptocurrencies. I'm not telling good or bad, but we people should not go for those things which we don't understand. It will become gambling then. That's how many people made stock market into gambling, but actually it's not a place for gambling. It is a place for wealth creation, wealth generation consistently over a long period of time. So greed is that everybody starts investing. Fear, corona situation, oh, sell. 2008, sell. When things now 2-3 days also happening. For no reason, somebody starts offloading, everybody starts selling. So the best approach, easy to tell, very difficult to apply, but the approach, keep it in mind, is this: be fearful when others are greedy, be greedy when others are fearful. So when the market is falling down, you keep investing. You see, sir, how do we know this is the bottom? That one thing I'll tell you. Nobody can tell you the bottom of the market exactly. Nobody can tell you the top of the market exactly. No, it's not possible. We say only two kind of people can tell that. One is God, other is liar. Apart from that, we human being don't know the exact lowest point, don't know what is the exact highest point. After things have happened, we can tell. Like this, I can do a seminar. But before things happens, we cannot do. But what you can do, when market is falling down, you have 1 lakh, keep investing. At this stage, invest 25,000. Again falling, again 25. Again falling, again 25. Again falling, again 25. Then market start reversing. For each of these investments, start getting returns. Get the simple technique. You have some money. You want to invest in the equity by yourself, or you want to invest in the mutual funds yourself. You want to manage yourself. Do it. If the market is falling, don't invest everything. That's some people do it. It's falling, so I'll go and invest. You have to select only quality stocks. When the price is falling at every stage, let's say 10%, 10%, or 5%, 5%, have rule. Every 5% fall, I'll invest 25% of money. Let's say Reliance, amazing company. HDFC Bank, no bank can beat HDFC Bank, such a strong company. It's not performing well, but that is the case. In a bull market, too many good companies don't perform well. All these bad companies only will perform well in a very good bull market. Anyway, so HDFC Bank, good company, has fallen 5%. Invest 25% of your money. Has fallen other 5%, very unlikely. Invest another 25%. Now it's coming back. You realize the money. Got the simple technique? When the market is coming down, invest in tranches. If the market is going up, don't sell everything. That's what happened to some of the people, to some of my clients. I told them, don't sell it, but they tell, no, market is too much. Market is going up in one direction. I would like to sell it. They lost so many opportunities here. So when you want to buy, invest maybe 25% tranches. If the market is coming down, you sell in 25% tranches so that you don't lose out completely. If the market is coming down, invest 25% in tranches. If the market is going up, you think it's overheated, you sell 25% each time, so that you are not losing out the opportunity of buying at a lower price, and you're not losing the opportunity of selling at a higher price. Average, consistency. Never search for the lowest point, never search for the highest point. That is where you will eventually lose. Stock market is not a game of perfection. It's a game of probability and discipline. You have some methods, follow consistently, the return is guaranteed for you. Anyway, talking about the Sensex, top 30 companies I told you, which are those top 30 companies? These are the 30 companies and their weightages. So if I tell you Sensex is down by 1% today, that means some stock would have been gone up, some stock would have been come down. On an average, you have got 1%. Now the question comes, can I invest in Sensex? Can I purchase Sensex? Can I sell Nifty? No, not possible. You have alternative. What alternative? You have index funds. You have mutual funds. in the mutual funds, you have so many varieties. One of the main variety which I will recommend anybody to invest is go for index funds, or we have exchange traded funds, ETF. Probably we call Nifty Bs, Sensex investments, junior Bs, even bank Bs we have. Anyway, ETF, index ETF. It's a form of passive investment. Why index investing is recommended for everybody in the world? I mean, any investor. 30 companies. Now, one question I would like to ask you. When did Sensex start? I just told you now. It started in the year 1979. It started in the year 1979. We are in 2021. Now, do you think the top 30 companies remain same in all the years? No, right? There would be some companies which are exited and some companies which are joined. But when you invest in index funds, when you invest in ETFs, you don't worry about it. The Sensex index management is there. They will know which are the top 30 companies. They know when to exit, when to enter. You don't have any headache. And that mutual funds, index funds, or ETF does not require a fund manager. Why? They don't have to decide when to buy, when to sell. Look at top 30 companies. We will invest in those companies. What are their weightages? We also invest in the same weightage. They'll exit one stock. We also exit one stock. They'll invest. We will also invest. You understand? ETF mutual funds just replicate the Sensex and Nifty performance. So the index ETF will have lesser expense ratio because fund manager is not there. Nobody is managing the fund. Sensex index that is will be published by the NSE India, BSE India. I mean, stock exchange will publish it, and this will replicate it. You should just invest consistently. So if you want to invest in stock market, in the Sensex, in the Nifty, without any headache, without any fund manager, without timing the market, this is your answer. Go for ETF, go for index funds. Less expense ratio and more chances of making better return. And as the time progress, you can see in developed market, in US and all, majority of the funds investment goes for a passive management fund only. It does not go for active management fund because we believe market is supreme. Nobody can beat the market. We call it as alpha. It's very difficult to generate alpha. In India, we still have not reached that stage, but we are also moving towards the direction. A lot of data points, mutual funds inflows say that. Anyway. Okay, let us talk about the actual data point now. Sensex only I'm investing. 5 years back, I invested 1 lakh. 5 years back, we are in 2021. Had I invested in 2016, it would have become 1,45,000. Had I invested 10 years back, 1 lakh would have become 1,89,000. Had I invested 20 years back, 1 lakh would have become 9 lakh. Had I invested 30 years back, 1 lakh would have become 26 lakh. 1 lakh, 26 lakh, I showed you also what is the average return. These are actual returns. Okay. Let's talk about more data now. I told you power of compounding. I told you invest in Sensex, invest in ETF. How much return has it given in the past? From the inception, remember this point, by heart this number. From the inception, from the year 1979, Sensex has given return of 15.8% per annum every year on an average. From the inception, 40 years period. 30-year period, 12%, 20-year period, 10-year period, 5-year period, 3-year period. Percentage changes. But, or you can take this one, 20-year period. 16% you can expect here. 15, 16%, that is our GDP growth, annual income growth of India. Same thing is what you're reflected in stock market. And does it take rocket science to invest in Sensex? Nothing. Take an ETF, investor. That's all. Nothing else required. Every year, you will get this much of return. No, I mean, every year you'll not get. On an average, you'll be able to generate. Even I showed you an example. You don't require 16%. 12% per annum is sufficient. 1% per month, 12% per annum. is sufficient to make you 10,000 per month to 3.5 crores, something, right? 3.5 crores, 10,000 per month. You become crorepati by the end of 30 years. And does not require too much of analysis, does not require too much of brain. It just requires consistent, systematic investment. Okay. Let's look at year wise. This also you should be careful. Your stock portfolio, if you look at it, it will be fluctuating. There's one famous saying which said, investing in stock market is like watching the paint get dry. You know, paint, you put the paint, it should dry. You should, now by keeping on looking at it, there is no excitement, there is no happiness. It's one of the boring thing in the world to look at the paint and you have to wait for it to dry. Same thing. If stock market you have to invest, if it have to generate wealth, it's a boring thing. Put the money, hold your hands, wait. You have put the money yesterday, I want the money today. If somebody is promising you, that's not the place. It's a trading game. Trading is a different game. I'm not talking about it. I'm only talking about long-term wealth generation. You need time. If you want to generate wealth, you need time. For that, of course, you have to stay in the market. And you have to be aware of business cycles. And you have to be aware of market cycles like bullish phase, bearish phase. Market will fluctuate. You see 2011, Sensex down by 24%. Next year, up by 25%. Next year, 29%. Next year, 5% down. And 2018, 19, 20, 21, these are all calendar year returns, fluctuates. And last 20 years returns also I've told you. You see how, look at this, 2002, 2000, look at this now. 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look at the rate, percentage returns, 73%, 13%, 42%, 47%, 47%. Bullish market, .com bull market, India, where Infosys, all these IT companies boomed in that year. And many people believe going forward, in 2021 subsequently also, we are in the beginning of bull phase. Many people have that opinion. True or not, on the time will tell. My opinion also, we are still in the beginning of a bull phase and we are long way to go. And bull phase means everyday market will not go up. It will come down also sharply and again it will increase. Always expect this. It will go up, come down, it will go up, come down, it will go up, come down. It should make higher highs and it should make higher lows. The lower point is also high, higher point is also high. That means market is in a upward trend. I believe we are in that situation. And especially you can think India's growth story. There is so much to come, especially for India. China is struggling. Average Indian age, median age of India is below 30 years. The saving percentage of Indian household is around 3%. Stock market exposure is around 5%. Number of demat accounts have increased in the last 1 year thanks to COVID. But that is nowhere as compared to our population. Still, there is a long way to go ahead. So keep investing. Don't invest entire your money at one stock, at one point. Keep investing in a consistent manner. Some of you talking about, okay, who are the consistent compounder in 20 years I've taken? Sensex around 16%, I told you. That's what is in the GDP also. TCS given 19%, HDFC Bank 26%, Asian Paints 25%, Bajaj Finance 27%, consistent compounders. Please don't take this as a recommendation. Personally, these are still my favorite stocks. Of course, there are some multi-baggers like you have to, there is which can become 20 times, 30 times. But don't invest everything in those companies. If you want to be safer and you want to generate consistent returns, for me, these companies are still the best picks I've given you. Please do your own research, of course, before investing. But this is what I would take as an illustration. Definitely, these companies have generated for 20 years. Okay, 1 or 2 years, 20 years, these companies have generated return around 20% to 26% per annum average. So it's not so easy. These companies will not go away just like that easily. So safe, keeping the money safe is utmost priority. These companies are my favorite pick, but I would recommend go for ETFs if you don't have time to go for stock market. Okay, some questions are there. I'll just take it a little bit later. Okay. I'll just come to one last few points and then I'll take up the questions. What are the thumb rules for investments? Small points, keep it in mind for you to make investments. Don't put all the eggs in same basket. Simple advice, important, effective advice. You have 1 lakh rupees, don't invest entire amount of 1 lakh in equity. Spread across equity, if mutual funds, debt, maybe debt mutual funds, or gold, or maybe fixed deposit, anything. Always spread out the investments. Don't invest in entire money in same thing. I know some people will tell you, had you invested this 1 lakh rupees instead of buying this Maruti Suzuki car, instead of purchasing this Eicher Motors vehicle, this bike, you invested money in shares. Instead of smoking this ITC, how to purchase ITC stocks, people will tell all those things. But key is, don't invest entire money in one thing. As far as possible, you should have as many exposures as possible. For example, when I make a portfolio, I make sure large cap stock like HDFC Bank, Infosys, TCS, Asian Paints. These are fundamentally strong stock, HDFC Bank. And then some mid cap stocks. Some mid cap stocks like Indian Energy Exchange. We have many stocks. I mean, mid cap stocks. We have one very good stock. Name is not coming to my mind, but you can, and I'll invest in some growth stocks like some PSU bank, some PSU, public sector undertakings, Power Grid, NHPC, NTPC. Not everything. Okay, one portfolio will have one stock, some exposure, not everything. And I will have one private bank, HDFC Bank, let's say, and one public sector bank like one State Bank of India or Canara Bank. And I invest in new age technology stocks. For example, one small cap stock, Nazara Technologies. Even Rakesh Junjunwala has invested. They are into gaming, Nazara Technologies, and into this MCX, multi-commodity exchange. It's a stock exchange for commodity derivatives, commodities. So I'll invest a little bit in MCX. They're high risky stocks. And one thing you can always look for, some people are asking, no, how to pick stocks. I'll come a little bit later. There are some points to be covered. Time in the market is more important than timing the market. I explained you. Power of compounding. Spend as much time as possible. Start early. And most importantly, I will say, follow SIP. Discipline. The easiest method, boring method, best method. And main advantage of SIP is rupee cost averaging. I would like to spend 1 or 2 minutes on this rupee cost averaging. Let's say you spend 10,000 rupees every month. If the market is down, let's say stock price comes to 1,000 rupees. Now we'll purchase 10 stocks or 10 units. If the stock price comes to 2,000 rupees, market is going up, 10,000 by 2,000, you will buy 5 stocks. If the market is coming down to 500 rupees, then you'll purchase 20 stocks, 10,000 by 500 rupees. So when you invest the amount systematically, the average will happen automatically. I told you already, the key to generate wealth is average return of 1% or 2% is extraordinary. Average is what you would like to achieve. And how do you make an average investment, or how do you make your cost of purchase, cost of price, cost of the investment average? Systematic investment, SIP. That's called as average rupee cost averaging. If the market is up, you automatically buy less number of units. If the market is down, you automatically buy more number of units. No rocket science required, no formula required, no consultancy required. Consistent investment. And as you have more salary, you can increase the amount of SIP also. Okay, coming to active investing and passive investing, I've been telling so far. This is the time to converge everything. Active investing means you do it yourself. You time the market. Oh, now HDFC Bank is at a lower price. I will invest. I look at the chart. Oh, now HUL, Hindustan Unilever, is at a lower price. I would like to purchase. So when you make a decision like this, active investing. Even if I invest in mutual funds, SDFC, top 200, ICICI blue chip fund, SBI blue chip fund, or SBI small cap fund. If I invest in these mutual funds, that is also active investing. Passive investing means index funds, ETF. My recommendation, if you don't have enough time and expertise, go for passive investing, and do look for active investing, little bit portion, small participation you can do. How you can do, I'll teach you now. Some of you are telling how to pick the stocks. My opinion, I'll tell you. We call it as a 3-factor approach. Which is the economy you're looking for, which is the industry you're looking for, which is the company you're looking for. I'll give one practical example. In Corona time, 2020 March, market was in depression stage. Market was coming down, economy. Now, my analysis was like this. In this bad phase, everybody locked up at home. Which is the 1 or 2 company product that I should use? I thought IT companies does not require physical participation. So I went ahead and purchased Infosys shares. Then I asked myself, everybody at home, but what do they do to connect with each other? What is it required? Internet. Only 2 companies are there, Airtel, Jio. Rest Vodafone and all is almost ruled out. Other BSNL, nowhere there. There's no listed company also. And between Reliance Jio and Airtel, I thought Reliance is a better company because Reliance has got Reliance Retail, Reliance Jio, Reliance Petroleum, and Reliance is a diversified product. I invested in Reliance. And the stocks in 1 year almost doubled. Of course, there are stocks like Bajaj Finance, which tripled also. But what I'm trying to tell you is simple analysis. And one thing, keep it in mind. In market, things always happens before the hand. What do you mean by that? Corona news comes. Corona effect is likely to take place later. See, when did we went for lockdown? In which month do you remember? We went for lockdown in which month? We went for lockdown in April 2020, April, May, June, like that, right? But when the market fallen, market fell in March only. In April, May, when we are at home and when economy was everything was locked, stock market went up. People told, no, stock market is mad. When everything is locked down, stock market is going up. Stock market is not mad. Our understanding is not appropriate. We say stock market is always a forward-looking animal. What is likely to happen, we will do estimation based on that. For example, we estimate this company profit to come well. Now only the share price will go up. If the market, if they make a good profit, it's okay. Sometimes you would have seen, I don't know if you observed, company makes good profits, but still stock market falls. The share price of those companies falls. Why? It would have already up earlier. Okay. Now, how do you analyze? Again, just an example. Don't think that. As of now, all economy are open. But one sector which is yet to open much, in my opinion, is aviation sector, hotel industry. Right? Because things are not yet opening fully to that extent. Travel, people are going, but not so much still. The PVR Inox is getting filled, but still the movies have to be released and so on. So those are the sectors you have to look at in advance. Of course, if you're investing for a short-term period. So that's how from the economy level, you come to the industry level, and within the industry, you choose the company level, whether you're investing for short-term or for long-term. For a long-term, you can invest with a simple approach of you will be using the products daily, invest in small amounts, those companies. One small technique I'll tell you. I don't claim that is my technique. I have learned one of my mentor, but I found it very, very simple technique. Wealth generation, passive, I told you, go for ETF, index funds. If you want to invest or in your own, without much of analysis, because I don't want to go for ratios and all, ROC should be good. I'm not talking about it. A simple approach to invest in good companies is this approach. Simplest approach. It does not require any investment background, does not require any finance background. You might be from science, engineer, anybody can follow this. Look at this example. Suppose you're purchasing, okay, you're purchasing Maruti Suzuki, Maruti car. Now the car is worth 5 lakh rupees. Car is worth 5 lakh rupees. Okay. Now this car, let's say you're planning to use for 10-15 years. You're planning to use for 10-15 years. After 10-15 years, you want one more car, right? That will have to be scrapped. No, normal expectation I'm telling. Let's say after 15 years, example I'm telling. You know what do? This 5 lakh you're investing. No, don't invest 5 lakh. Invest 1 lakh more. 5 lakh you pay, purchase the Maruti car. 1 lakh you invest in Maruti Suzuki only. Getting my point? Now, don't treat the cost of the car like 5 lakh. Treat the cost of the car like 6 lakh. 5 lakh you pay, you get the car. 1 lakh you invest in Maruti car. You know, after 15 years, 1 lakh would have become 5-6 lakh or 7 lakh or 10 lakh. And that will be sufficient to buy the car for next 15 years. Getting the point? You can do this exercise on any product you buy. For example, you purchase Colgate. Monthly, how much you spend? Let's say 500 rupees you spend on Colgate. Don't spend 500, spend 500 and 50 rupees extra or some 100 rupees extra, you use it and buy the Colgate shares. The amount you're spending and you're investing, spending and investing. Spending, it's a necessary thing. You're investing in the same company because they are a quality product. You're using the product because it must be good. You are using Colgate, you're using Surf Excel, you're using Nestle, you're using a Prestige cooker, TTK Prestige cooker. You're using Reliance Jio, you're using Petroleum, you're using Tata Motors, whichever it is. You're using Voltas AC. Voltas AC is by Tata company, Voltas. Anything that you invest, you purchase, don't treat like a cost. Spend a little bit extra, about 10-15% extra, and forget about it. Don't think like an investment. Maruti example I gave you, 5 lakh. Don't think cost is 5 lakh. Think cost is 6 lakh only. 1 lakh you forget. That 1 lakh would have become much more after 15 years. That's how the wealth can be generated over a long period of time. This is the technique I'm telling you now is not involving any superficial expertise. I'm not telling you ratio analysis. They're good, but that is for experts to look at ROC, debt equity ratio, leverage ratios, look at the revenue growth, balance sheet, P&L account. That is one part. That's for technical people. But what I'm trying to tell you is anybody can generate wealth if you follow these simple, small, consistent steps. And this is one thing I should definitely tell. FOMO, a very popular term these days. Again, IRCT is a very good example. Fear of missing out. If there is a meeting happened, 5 cousins comes, 4 cousins says we are investing. One cousin will tell, "Che, I have not invested. I will also invest," and he loses. Please don't fall for FOMO, fear of missing out. Don't invest because others are investing. Don't invest. Fear of losing the opportunity. Market will always be there. Don't worry about the opportunities. You will always get the opportunity. You have to be in the market. Timing. You have to spend the time in the market. The more time you spend in the market, you being invested, you have a better chance of reaching your goals. if you are looking for some companies, you have some time, you want to do research, which stock to invest. Then if I want to give a thumb rule, I'll give you these three P's: people, products, profits. People who run the business, products, is the product monopoly in the market or not? What is the marketing strategy or what is the market position? Are they making profits? You look at their P&L account, you look at the profits. If these three ticks are yes, simple example, Asian Paints, run by amazing management, 20 years they're running, amazing strategy. Products, very good product. They are into different fields, they know how to market. People are great. Products are profit. Look at the P&L account. Consistent EBITDA margin is going, net profit margin is going, EPS is amazing. Invest. Example I'm telling. Look at the management, go to the websites, look at the management, who is the MD, who is the board of directors, when did they join, when the company was started, what product they do, who do they cater to it, what are their customers. For example, Domino's, Jubilant Food, or a Pizza Hut, Devyani International, which has got listed in IPO recently. Those kind of things. Product should be good. People should be good. Profit is where I am not very confident about company like Zomato. Let people invest. Let the researcher do investment. But you and me are not capable. At least I am not capable of, or at least I don't want to invest in a company which does not make profit. Or even if I want to invest out of, let's say I have investing 1 lakh, I'll spend only 5,000. I don't want to spend more because my primary objective of investment is not to lose money. If you go behind the fear of people, what is the highest? One more question people ask is IPO. Till today, what is the highest value of IPO? Till today, it is Reliance Power, which is a disaster now. Many companies, I can give example. So without background, at least I'm telling you from your level, without background, without history, without people confidence, without profit, without cash flow generation, don't invest in those companies. That's why companies like Asian Paints, HDFC Bank are no substitutes, because they have proven again and again, they are the leaders. They are the monopolistic competition. Like you don't have a easy substitute there. That's why. Okay. For your more data points, you can use the website like this: investing.com, Money Control, Ticker Tape, valueresearchonline.com, Screener, TradingView. Many the websites are there. You can go through this. I just want to, as a summary point, I would like to read out these points given by the great Warren Buffett. And then I'll read some of the questions from yours. On earning, never depend on single income. Make investment to create second source. There is one formula we use in investment consultancy. Up to 40 years, you should work for money. After 40 years, money should work for you. Investment will or debt, fixed deposit, whatever it is, interest, dividend, it should come automatically. On spending, if you buy the things you don't need, soon you'll have to sell the things you don't need. What an amazing sentence. Investment is all about taking care of your expenditure. Expenditure, do spend whatever you want, remaining you invest, or other way around. How much ever your future value, how much you want to spend in future, that much you should invest, remaining you spend it today. That's what. On saving, do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. On taking risk, never test the depth of the water with both the feet. Don't invest all your money in IRCTC, Zomato and all. One day if it backfires, you're gone. Some spot of exposure is good, but don't test the water or the depth of the water with both of your feet. I mean, don't take too much risk. On investment, do not put all the eggs in same basket. I've discussed enough. On expectations, honesty is expensive gift. Do not expect from cheap people. When you want to invest in a company, invest the people, because ultimately companies are run by people.
Logic School of Management.